I'm talking AGP, anti-gravity, project I respect, staying true to the tech. We got the evil address and the pink Miss Will, got the dark matter token going up, I can tell. Hey, I can tell, this the start of something fresh. Shout out Hex Revision and on the Hex, yes. I confess, Hexicans don't stress, cause as a community we won up. So tell me, are you in, or tell me, are you out? Do you want to win, or do you chase the clout? What is this really about? The treasury and lottery. If you meant dark tokens, you can get a part of it. So how does it work? Let me explain. First you buy the dark token, now you're in the game. Then you mint the dark and get a fuel cell. That's an NFT, one that earns yield. As long as you have it, it feels like magic. But if you vaporize the NFT, that's tragic. So most think crypto is a game. Are you here for the fame or here to make a name? See, Hexicans reign, we create our own lane. I thought I told you, we the new financial gain. AGproject.io with the flow. And if you know what I know, then you know what I know. That's how it go. Something like to support the team, the dream. Public service announcement, t.me/anti-gravity saga. Hit the telegram. Tap in. It's for y'all. I'm talking AGP, anti-gravity, project I respect, staying true to the tech. We got the evil address and the pink Miss Will, got the dark matter token going up, I can tell.
Hey kids, this is Pulse-Ray Vision coming to you live from Cuatro Cinco Studios in my mom's basement. And I just wanted to jump on here and do a quick update on how bananas, absolutely bananas, round one is going to be in about 13 days. That's right, if you held Dark Matter or the Dark Matter NFTs, you most likely received an airdrop of the Darker Matter tokens, which is the upgrade to the game and the book. The only thing we weren't able to upgrade was the community, because it's the best damn community in crypto, hands down. We've got Hex T Armstrong, Ahoy Mates here, one of the people did that cool Fight Club Space Cult mesh up meme, which we've been spreading around the Twitters. And yeah, I just happy to be here with you guys. I'm going to share my screen real quickly here and go through these updates in rapid fire, or faster than normal fire. Here we go. Let's get down here. We might have some special guests join us, we might not. We have of course the X here. I think we still have the collective up here. They said they were going to get rid of the groups, but here it is, Afraid of the Dark. We got that right there. We'll repost that one. This is me saying Dead Cat Bounce or Nah. That was actually Darker coming soon. Actually, it did stay up right around 50 cents for the most part there, until we switched over. Here's a nice one right here. BitBoy Leroy and Cole Nova. Oh, high stakes, high stakes. Okay, so that's going there. Let's check out old man Bitcoin. What you doing, old man Bitcoin? Old man Bitcoin at 62,000. And Ethereum, the choice of psychopaths all around the world. That one is back down at previous lows right there. So it was making higher lows and then it stopped. So who knows when they're going to turn the switch back on. It's really honestly a switch. Like people are like, well, this and that, and the weather and political events and the midterm elections and the war and the oil czars. It's a switch, bros. There's a handful of crackhead psychopaths that were born without emotions that we talk about in our book, Rings of Dust. And they truly, you know, they're way crazier and more money hungry, power hungry than you can even imagine. So that being said, they're buying a bunch of Ethereum and they're going to turn a switch on and it's going to go crazy one day, and that'll be nice for Pulse Chain. We are the Siamese twin. If you haven't checked out Rings of Dust, you can click on our link inside of GitHub here. I don't know why it saved this here. Oh, I know why. Claude's really bad at everything, and so this should actually be down here inside of workflow or edited to workflow. Anyways, if you go here to TTS Ready, here are the first 28 chapters of the book, 3 epilogues. We have the lore Bible text, which, yeah, and then you got the prequel, first part 1, 2, and 3, which is, I think, that's some really great stuff too. That is the prequel leading up to Rings of Dust. So that's pretty dang cool. Let's see here. We've got this one right here, agproject.io, my favorite website on earth. 13 days, 15 hours left to mint and have a game piece in round 1. So you can always mint for the next round. But once a round starts, round 1 is going to start in 13 days. Once it starts, you can't mint for that round. You know, you're either in or you're out. You're either on the spaceship or you're not on the spaceship. And I just wanted to point out some cool things here if you guys are new. You got the home button, you got the how to play button, mint, farm, get paid. You've got the contract address right here, where you can click it and make sure that you're buying the right darker, selling the right darker, providing the right liquidity with darker. And then you got this just cool title, Darker Matter. This will take you to the homepage too. But you got your connect wallet button with the logo of the wallet that's connected right here. We have Internet Money wallet that is connected right now, and the stream address. You can click buy now. That takes you over to our friends at switch.win. We also are friends with squirrelswap.pro. And yeah, there's some widgets that I think we need to build into the site here for those guys, both people building in the community and fixing stuff. So yeah, there's the how to play button. Then you've got your balance. It shows you how much darker you have right up here. It shows you the price of darker, which is right now 41 cents. It's got the countdown timer to the next round that opens. And then up here, these circles, this is the next one's going to open. Once it opens, it's going to change color a little bit. And you can, of course, go from side to side and check out the other rounds all the way up to round 66. Oh my gosh, there's 3 seasons to this game. 66 rounds, 3 seasons, 22 rounds in every season. Oh, I might want to add a button that just takes you back to the current round. I don't know. But there we go. We go back here to round 1. And then, of course, you've got the gas meter right here. Right now, we're at 527 beats, or 550,000 beats, which is that's pretty good compared to lately. I mean, like, if you catch it below 300K, 400K, you can get some NFTs minted for a lot cheaper. But yeah, that's what's going on. You go to Fuel Cell Farms, as you see, I've got 100 minted for Journey 1, round 1 that hasn't started yet in season 1. You can also check out season 2 and season 3. And then if you go down here, oh wait a minute, this hasn't updated because I still haven't seen this right here. So this was missing before. Let me do a hard refresh on this, and then I can tell it to commit if I like what I see. But here you can see you got this was like if someone had minted 50 and just gotten the 10% payout from round season 1, it would end up with 55 then 59, then 63. If it did absolutely nothing, if it minted and sat on its hands, it would be worth 63 darker at the end. That's pretty impressive actually for someone that's just dating the person, but just not really committed on any level. Just, they got that connection going on. I think we should spread these out right here. Let me actually give Claude a little bit of guidance over here. Claude, there we go. AG project. Okay, so now you actually have some of the stuff showing so I can preview it. I think the round 1, round 2, and round 3 projected, the darker should be spread out along that line in succession instead of stacked on top of each other. And then, oh, here we go, the current price. So it actually has the current price. So today, if you were to mint $20.66 of darker matter tokens and you did absolutely nothing, then it would be worth $26.40 if the price stays the same. So I like that. You can also do all-time high, which is, it thinks that the all-time high was 42 cents. Let's try this again. Also, it says that the all-time high is 42 cents. I believe it was well over $1 if you check the EDI and darker pair. Okay, and then moon math, where you can put any number you want in here, and no number is too crazy. To say that no number is too crazy during a bull run. So I mean, what you're minting today for dollars, $25, $20, could grow into something very sizable. And then of course it'll show you how much you got staked here, and it shows you what round you're an agent. If you have 1% of this round, you're an agent there, and then overall you're an agent as well. Way to go, kid, you're an agent. 32 more fuel cells, you'll be a navigator. So it tells you can rank up and compete with people inside of the rounds and overall. We'll check out those mints in just a second. But there's also this right here, the supply button up here at the top that I forgot to talk about. Supply. So here you can see there's 2,222,222 fixed cap of darker matter tokens. 67% of that is in the FOMO curve treasury, which is going to be, rewarding people like crazy over the 3 seasons, and puts a bunch of meat on the bone later to invite people to join our community. As you can see right here on my bags, you got the trickle. The first 22 rounds is the trickle. The first 8 months is a trickle. And then depending on, if we're hitting the bull market or not, we got season 2, which is the stream. And then we have the flood. And I mean, for crying out loud, there's an insane amount of people that are minting in the beginning, because people want to get their mint done, they want to check their jackpot, and then they want to lock, and they want to serve those 180 days as soon as possible to get a piece of the pool. We'll jump into in just a second. But only 48,000 is paid out from the treasury in the first season. Almost 250,000, 241,000, almost 242,000 is paid out in the second season, and 1.29 million is paid out in the third season. Like, it goes up 5x. It just climbs and climbs and climbs. So that's cool. The circulating supply, there's 18.7% of the tokens out there right now not doing anything. And we should actually, when these are locked in the locks, we should actually add those as well. Mystery box is sitting at 9%, jackpot sitting at 2.6%, 180-day bonus is sitting at 2.3%, and liquidity and conversion, I think that's the EDI converter, is 0.1. We have $3,157 worth of EDI in the EDI pool. So let's check that out. I'm going to get paid. Oh, this is actually the preview right there. So let's actually send these notes to Claude, and we'll go back to the live site right here, agproject.io. And you can, yeah, this is going to be fun. You can't click on anything yet. I know it's unnerving. You want to start staking, you want to start managing, you want to get those fuel cells put to work and sacrifice them to the void for some sweet moolah. Yeah, claim EDI. There's nobody here in the sacrifice pool yet. There will not be anyone that can sacrifice until the end of round one, which is going to be right before the 4th of July. It'll be right around the 3rd of July. So that's when you'll see if people are going to sacrifice to the void and get in here for the sweet EDI, or if they're going to cash out and take a payday. I mean, it's up to you. Or you could also, you know, hit the jackpot and turn around and mint 333 more fuel cells, which would give you like a half of a chance, like a 50% chance of winning another lottery, which could be worth much more. And we can get into that on another stream, but there's 58,000 darker in the jackpot ready to be paid out and possibly rolled forward through a sacrifice or cashed out. And you know, we might see sub penny darker if people just want to take that money and run, like a lot of people on X have been just dumping. Like it just boggles the mind. And then you got 51,000, almost 52,000 here in the 180-day pool. Again, nobody's going to be in this pool for about 193 days, and so this will just keep climbing and climbing with every mint. So you got that going on there. A lot of fun ways to play this game. A lot of fun ways to skin this cat. Here's the darker token right here, ends in 4C13. And this is where it's getting the information from the holders. We still have not seen Pink Miss Well move their tokens or mint their tokens yet. There's 4% of the whole supply with them. And I think it's roughly 1/7 of the circulating supply right there. This one right here, here's a smart contract. These two are the jackpot and the 180-day pool right there. You can see those two. And then you got this address right here sitting on 47,000. This one's sitting on 19,000, 17,000, 16,000. Yeah, interesting. And then you got this person right here. That's definitely a real wallet because of all the decimals after it from the airdrop there. They've got 11,000, 10,000. So on the first page, you have to have about 1,000 NFTs to get on the first page. This is a liquidity provider. And we'll go over the liquidity pairs. I think there's a brand new liquidity pair, actually. Let's pull that up real quick and check all of the pairs here. Here's Pink Miss Wells all the way down to $12.50 for 1 million tokens. I don't need to tell you what happens when people start buying that up because there's very few people that hold it that can sell it. So that is going to be great. If we go back to the darker token right now, it's ranging anywhere from 40 cents in the wrap pulse pair to, and that's got almost $300 of liquidity. Some badass is filling that one up. The darker and die is the biggest pool right now, $683, and that one's at 41 cents. The exterminator and darker, it's in at 37 cents. So you can go to this pair right here and it's only got $19 of liquidity, but you might be able to buy a couple of those at a discount. Darker and Hex is at 42 cents. Darker and Pulse X is at 42 cents. Actuator token, 40 cents here. Darker and Doge, Dr. Doge, it's 41 cents. There's also Darker and Wrapped ETH is at 41 cents. Darker and PDI, shout out to your friend Sami. There's a nice little $42 of liquidity here, and you can pick it up for 40 cents right there. Let's copy the contract address and see if there's any new liquidity that has popped up overnight. Just post the address in here and it'll show you guys all these different ones. We have Oh, we have several new pairs actually. So we have darker and neon. Nice. We've got $200 of liquidity showing up here, 36 cents. So you can get it for 36 cents, and there's actually some decent liquidity right there between the neon and the darker. Neon, of course, being the amazing website from our friend Lef. If you guys need a Solidity dev, he is your man. So that's a new one. Let's add that one to our watch list. What was the other one here? Let's go back. Let's see. We have another one here. Oh, we've got the Graze currency. Ah, that's quite interesting. 46 bucks of the Graze currency, 2 tax tokens, bumping uglies. That's pretty interesting. That one is, let's see what it's at right here. And that is the new token address. So it's 36 cents here. You can get it for 36 cents on the Graze currency right here. Shout out to the PTGC guys. I'm a big fan of those guys, and I hope that they're going well. Returns during the bull market. Isn't it funny how male whales are called bulls? Isn't that interesting? There's darker and wrap pulse 9mm V3, but that one has 22 cents of liquidity, so we're gonna ignore it for now. And there's a darker peacock. That one's interesting. That one's got about $100 of liquidity in it. Let's see what that one is trading at 40 cents. So, wow, yeah, another few $100s of liquidity showing up, even though Hex and Pulse and a lot of our favorite tokens are just taking a beating, as we have big whales that, you know, they bought a ton of Hex, they staked a ton of Hex, and now they're dumping a ton of Hex right now. Let's see here. Pink Miss Well, here's Hex and Pulse. Yeah, that's just ugly. Just crazy. It looks like it's time to pair some more darker with Hex down here. Be a good ride back up. So, Dr. Doge is trading at half a penny right now. You can do real science and put those GPUs to good service with Dr. Doge. And Dr. Doge has been rewarding the miners with coins besides just Dr. Doge. I believe I saw some Hex given out. You might see some darker matter being handed out there. And you'll most likely see some liquidity locked going real nice and deep in this pair right here on their smart contract that's verifiable. All right, let's see here. Let's check the comments. Hoy mates, good to see you. Believe in yourself. Elizabeth's in the house. Hi, Elizabeth. Good to see you as always. Elizabeth. See, yeah, everyone's happy to see you. And Lef is in the house. So yeah, Lef, put your link to your website, to the Neon website down here. I had it up earlier, but I think I've changed my my browser since then. And so I need to bring it back up and have it here in my Boomer tabs. Yeah, so we went over the supply of darker, the fuel cells. There are 129,000 fuel cells in the hands of 32 wallets. So 32 people out of, let's see how many people got the airdrop. 745 wallets got the airdrop. And 32 of them have minted so far. I think there's a lot of people that aren't even here right now. And then you got this massive well, 70, 50, 100,000 mints. That one's insane. We'll see what these big boys splashing around do when it comes time to claim their EDI and claim their 180-day pool. Interesting stuff. Really interesting stuff. Again, there's another well from that's we're waiting to see where they come in with the mints, and of course Pink Miss Well is still sitting on 95,000 darker. So we will see what they do. with it. Yeah, so we went over the charts of the prices. Oh man, Bitcoin. That's kind of about it. I mean, here's a darker supply right here. We overpaid mint in season 2, season 3. Oh, this is a graph of when we were trying to make sure we got the FOMO curve filled up, but this is what we're also working for some infographics there. And yeah, let's see if it took those notes here. Pushed and verifying, the builds is deploying. Let's do this. Let's go to Vercel, and it's ready right here. So let's check out that preview. We'll do a hard refresh. And now it should have updated the all-time high to $1.19. I'll take that. The current price right there, but all-time high, that makes quite a difference right there. Then of course moon math is whatever you make it. And it did scoot these out a little bit. I don't... Let's tell it again. Hey, you can actually spread those out and make them all the same size as a season 3 text. There's plenty of room inside of that box to fill up. I was going to tell it to push because it fixed the 100x. It fixed a couple other things here. We got the other seasons to choose from. But anyways, yeah, that's where that is. Check back one more time here. Yeah, that's about it. Just a short, quick stream. Tell you guys what's going on with the Ecosphere, how many people have minted. Will be very interesting to see how many people mint in the next 13 days. I know I'm getting hit up by a lot of OGs that have been very busy, understandably, with life and the fact that crypto is now just a bad memory at these prices. But people are coming back around and slowly hearing about the upgrade to the game and the story. We got Crypto Cat in the house. Good evening, Crypto Cat. He was going to eat some ice cream and do some reading the other night. I'm not sure how far he got into the lore of Rings of Dust, but yeah, it's pretty good. We'll see. Excuse me. I was thinking about doing a little bit of reading, but it's like 10. It's kind of late to be reading this. You know what? I'm going to read to you guys just a little bit of the first spark.
For a treat.
Yeah, the soothing tones of Pulse Ray Vision's velvet voice.
I like your tones.
Yeah. All right, so we're actually going to go to the prequel today. Or actually, let me see. Rachel, it's the poll. Boarding. I want to read where Jill comes back to the colony right here. It might be in the colony. And it might be in some of these other ones right here. Actually, I'll just ask Claude. Yeah, there we go. It's actually still working on fixing those layouts, but I'll go here in Rings of Dust and I will ask it. Which chapter currently has Jill's departure and return to the colony in it? It's thinking. Find all Jill references across chapter files. That's not, you could really just honestly look up Jill return. Anyways, I did download another AI agent to steer Claude in the right direction so that I'm not chasing my tail and micromanaging it. And so far it looks like it's putting out some really good it's better than I am at talking to Claude and using Claude as an engine. Shout out to Dawn Don's the hexiest man alive. I've been talking to him. He's been checking out the new project and wanting to get back here on stream with you guys. He misses you guys a lot. And he was saying, he told me about this new AI agent. And he said, Claude is like a Ferrari engine, but it's useless by itself. Without the Ferrari built around the Ferrari engine, it's useless. So these other AI agents are kind of like the rest of the Ferrari. Jill's departure, season 3, chapter 3. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it ends with her not being able to stop thinking about the gold crater. Her return isn't written yet. That's not true at all. 5 opening question. Wow. Wow, it is not written. This is insane. That's so crazy. Check the chapter summaries and the lore Bible for the Return of Jill. And if it doesn't exist, you probably should fucking write it, because there's a lot of book after that. All right, we'll see what's going on. Yeah, so the poll is the one that I read last time, so I'm going to actually skip this right here. The Void and the Crater. I think that was it. I think it's 16. I think the Claude's a dumbass that's not even reading GitHub. Let me get this. Are you checking GitHub, or are you going off of local files? It likes to just go back to its last piece of shit memory and just throw that at you, even though it's stale and incorrect. Yeah. I don't know. This is 16, The Void and the Crater. This is a big part of the book right here. And this might actually be where she does return, right here. Oh my gosh. Well, this is her sleeping in the Houndstooth, which is her ship, back at the colony. November 22nd. I love that. Yeah, local files only. The repo 9 commits has never been pushed in this session, so GitHub would be stale. Everything I'm reading from is this on disk. All of those changes should have been pushed to GitHub and verified, pushed. Not really quite sure why you haven't done that, and why you're reading anything on local disk. GitHub is where the fresh new information is, and you are very, very out of date. So check all the stuff on GitHub and get back to me. All right, so I'm just gonna read this. Yeah, the one where she turns around, I'm sure is in here somewhere. Jeez Louise, what a monkey ball. All right, Rings of Dust, chapter 16, The Void and the Crater. The ceremony was at 3 in the morning of the 7th day. It was November 22nd, also known as 11/22. Nobody announced it. Nobody sent a notification or posted a time or made any visible preparation that Jill could track. At 02:45, she woke up in her bunk aboard the Houndstooth, not because anything had disturbed her, but because she had been sleeping lightly for 2 days, and something in the quality of the station's ambient sound had shifted. A settling, a stillness that was absent, but attention. Oh, a stillness that wasn't absent, but attention. She dressed. She went to the main tunnel. They were already there. All 33 of the Void Walkers and 11 of the Loyalists, including Petra, who stood at the far end of the group with the expression of someone who disapproved of the form while accepting the substance. Tyler was at the east end of the tunnel near the preparation chamber door. The 4 cells were on a cart beside him, the same ones she had seen 2 days earlier, their crystalline exteriors catching the amber light. Nobody spoke. Jill found a place at the edge of the group and stood there. Tyler began without preamble. He was not loud. He did not need to be. The tunnel was quiet enough that a normal voice carried the full length of it. He spoke the way someone speaks when they have said something many times and the repetition hasn't dulled it. When they had been waiting for the moment to arrive, and now that it's here, the words come without effort. He spoke about Elsa Klein. He spoke about the 11 years she'd spent building this colony out of rock and belief, and the 4 notebooks she had left behind. He spoke about the day she had arrived with 11 people and 1 resolution, that what she had found deserved to be handled with care rather than stripped for profit. He spoke of the last entry in the last notebook, written 3 days before she died, in handwriting that Petra had described to him as shaky but precise. I'm also going to copy this right here from 16. That is not correct. Elsa arrived with 369 people. Only 11 survived. Not sure why this is still incorrect. All right. He did not read from the notebook. He had it memorized. The cells are not ours. We assemble them. We stabilize them. We give them conditions in which to become what they are. But the process they run, the sink, the lock, the jackpot, the void alignment, this did not come from us. We found it. We observed it. We learned to work with it the way a farmer learns to work with rain. Excuse
me again.
Bless you. Not by controlling it,
Talked
but
about
by
rain.
understanding when to plant.
They're talking about rain. It made me sneeze.
Oh, okay. I believe the void receives what we give it because the void is not empty. I believe the energy that moves through these cells moves through everything, through us, through the line of who we are and who we came, and who we came from and who we will be. I believe this because I've watched the math long enough to understand the math is describing something larger than the math. I'm going to die in this asteroid. I'm not afraid of that. I'm going to die, and the energy I carry through this life is going to move forward into the cells I help stabilize, into the notebooks my friends will keep, into the people who've come after and find this place and understand what it is. I'm going to be received by the same void that receives everything I give it. The gold will keep coming. I want my colleagues to keep sending. The silence after lasted long enough that Jill stopped counting. Then Tyler lifted the first cell from the cart. He carried it himself, no ceremony,
Tyler?
no procession.
Taylor?
Tyler.
There's a Taylor and a Tyler?
There's a Taylor and a Tyler.
Damn, that's gonna be confusing.
Not really. I hope not. This one's Tyler Durden. Anyways, just a man carrying something heavy and handling it with the care you handle irreplaceable things. He looked back at the group. She came back for a reason, he said. We're sending her the best we have. He did not say who she was. Nobody asked. He turned and walked to the east tunnel, into the east tunnel. What happened after the light ended was not visible from where they stood. Jill understood the mechanics of the way you understand things that have been told rather than things you have felt. The tunnel ran through the asteroid toward the void. As you walked deeper, gravity gradually let go, not as a threshold, but as a slow release. The asteroid's claim loosening increment by increment until it was no longer a claim at all. A stabilized fuel cell carried in both hands would begin at some point to lift, not because you threw it, not because you pushed it, because it had arrived at the place where the void wanted it more than the rock did. You carried it until it left you. Tyler had never described what this felt like. Petra had said once that he came back lighter every time, not metaphorically that the walk out was physically different from the walk in, as if something in the carrying had altered his relationship to weight. He came back, he lifted the second cell. He carried the second cell, the second into the tunnel, then the third, then the fourth. When the last one was gone, he stood at the edge of the light with his hands open at his sides. Not in prayer, in the specific posture of someone who's finished something that required everything they had and is letting the empty feeling that comes after simply be there. He turned around. He looked at Jill. You don't have to believe in the ancestors, he said. You just have to watch the math. What math? She said. 11 days, he said. She stayed. She didn't decide to. She just didn't leave. The morning after the ceremony, she ran the full diagnostic on the houndstooth, actually ran it this time, every system, every readout, and found nothing wrong, which she had expected. But the process took 3 hours, and by the time it was done, it was midday, and she was hungry, and the kitchen had food. She told herself she was leaving tomorrow. She told herself this for 10 days. The 18th day, 11 days after the ceremony, she was in the tracking room at 0347. She had set an alarm, which she had not told anyone about, and which she was not entirely sure why she had set. Tyler was already there. Yoon was there. 4 other Void Walkers she knew by face, but not by name. And Petra, at the back of the room, standing where she always stood, slightly apart, slightly sideways, as though the data on the screen was something she was being asked to testify about rather than watch. Nobody told Jill to come. Nobody had needed to. At 0402, the proximity sensor lit. The asteroid resolved on the tracking display from the same vector as the previous one. She'd reviewed the logs, all 6 years of them. The same approach corridor each time, the same impossible deceleration as if it entered their field, the same final holding position just outside docking range. It was always this way. This one was larger. Not by a little. Twice the mass of the previous one, maybe more. He sent more than last time, Yoon said quietly. He sent 4. We've never sent 4. The asteroid rotated slowly on the display. At 0419, it reached the angle that put its largest face towards the sensors, and the spectrometric reading came in, and the display showed what the reading showed. The face had an impact crater, 30 meters across, dense, uniform, reflective. Gold. Not gold-bearing rock, not gold-flecked mineral. A crater of solid gold on the face of the asteroid, as though something had struck it from the other side with an instrument that left gold behind instead of taking material away. Petra looked at the display for a long time. Jackpot, she said. Quietly, the way she always said it. The way it had meant the same thing. Here is the number. Here is what it is. Here is what it does to every model I have ever run. She said it and did not look at Tyler. Tyler did not look at her. And the room was quiet in the way quiet rooms are quiet when the argument has been running for 6 years and one side has just produced another piece of evidence that neither side entirely knows what to do with. Jill left the tracking room. She went to the docking bay. She sat in the houndstooth in the dark, with the hatch closed and the interior lights off. And she sat there for a long time. She was not a person who believed in ancestors receiving fuel cells through a void. She was not a person who believed in reincarnation into bloodlines or the energy of a life moving forward into people who came after. She was a person who ran a trade circuit in the outer belt and checked her instruments, made her runs, did not spend a lot of time on questions that didn't have answers she could work with. She had watched a man carry 4 fuel cells uh, through a pressure membrane and send them into the dark. Okay, there's not a pressure membrane. He just walks into the tunnel. No membrane. Dumbass. Okay.
That's not very nice.
11 days later, a gold asteroid twice the size of any previous one had arrived from the same impossible vector it always arrived from, and on its face there was a crater of solid gold that nobody could explain. And Petra had said the same words she always said, and the tracking room had gone quiet, in the way it always went quiet. She could not explain the gold. She had spent 10 days running the orbital mechanics in her head. Inbound trajectories, gravity wells, asteroid composition, distributions, the probability of a gold mass object entering a stable approach vector from the same corridor 6 times in 6 years. The numbers didn't work. The numbers hadn't worked the first time she ran them, and they didn't work now. She sat in the dark and thought about Elsa Klein, buried 40 meters away in the asteroid wall, who had mapped the void's gravitational signature and left 4 notebooks and written 3 days before she died that the energy of a life moved forward. She thought about the math she'd been running since the tracking room. 6 returns over 17 years, each arrival documented in Elsa's logs. Whatever the colony spent on supply orders was a fraction of what those asteroids represented in raw value. She had walked past the East Tunnel secondary branch twice without being shown inside it. Nobody had mentioned it. Nobody had blocked it either. She thought about the part of the notebook that Petra had refused to show her. She got out of the ship, went back inside. She found Petra at the bench. Petra looked up at Jill when Jill came in. She looked at her for a moment and then looked back at her work. No, she said. I watched it arrive, Jill said. I know. I was standing next to you. I can't explain the gold. I know that too. Petra was quiet. That is the problem with this place. The gold keeps arriving and nobody can explain it, and Tyler is very good at providing an explanation, and his explanation requires a great deal of belief in things that are not measurable. She set down her pen. Elsa's explanation also required a great deal of belief. The difference is that Elsa was a scientist first and a believer second. She believed because the math pointed somewhere, and she was honest enough to follow it, even when she couldn't verify where it led. And Tyler? Tyler believes because he needs to, Petra said. It wasn't unkind. That doesn't make him wrong. It just means his path there was different from hers. Jill was quiet. The notebooks, she said. Petra looked at her for a long moment, then stood up and went to the supply room. She came back with a sealed case. Old, worn at the edges, the kind of case you keep because it's what's inside is irreplaceable. She set it on the bench. She did not open it. Elsa believed, she said, that the cells were a medium, the way water is a medium for sound. The dark matter conducts something she couldn't name, not energy in the conventional sense, not a field she could measure, but something that moved through it, the way meaning moves through language. She believed this because of the sync period. Petra looked at the case. Not the charge levels, the sync period, the 11 days where you can feel it in your sternum and can't hear it with your ears. She wrote, I have felt this before. Every human being who has ever held a newborn child in the first days of their life has felt this. The feeling of a new node reaching toward the network. The feeling of something that has just arrived, learning what it is. Jill said nothing. She believed that the cells were doing what human beings do, Petra said, finding their way back into the circuit, moving forward through the line. She put her hand on the case without opening it. She also wrote this in the section of the records that predates the cell science, 3 years before she died. One day, A descendant of this bloodline will come to the place where the sacrifice is made. The circle will close. She wrote it as certainty, not hope. She was quiet for a moment. I have been waiting for that sentence to mean something. Jill looked at the case. I'm not her granddaughter, she said. No, you're not. She picked up the case and took it back to the supply room. She was gone for a moment. When she came back, she was not carrying the case. She was carrying a single sheet, a piece of paper, old, the edges soft from handling. A copy made from something older still. She set it on a bench between them. And that's a spoiler alert, so I'm not going to read any further. Those of you that are asleep, you can remain asleep. You don't have to move your bodies. You can just wake up refreshed whenever. Big Bud Wolf, I don't have enough darker. That's true. You don't. Hey, believe in yourself. Cheers to the space cult. Thank you. Yeah, it's I thought that you guys were actually seeing the thing. I realized I'm not sharing my screen anymore, so I'm just reading the screen and you're just staring at me reading. Okay. Yeah, I thought you guys were following along. Anyways, check out the book. It's definitely got some pieces that need to be fixed. We have about 5 people that have already dove into the first few chapters, and I think are going to be really excited and surprised by the time they finish it, and also bring up a lot of problems that we have, you know. But yeah, sacrificing to the void, you guys can kind of understand the meteor or the asteroid of gold that shows up. It's kind of like the Edai payout. That's what's going with that. So anyways, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys matter. What you do matters. You don't have enough dark. You don't have enough fuel cells. Remember, in this game, you can mint the fuel cells early and you still get paid through the entire FOMO curve. So you get paid if you mint and you don't deplete or break open your fuel cell, you get paid for all 66 rounds, which goes up dramatically towards the end. And if you lock or if you stake your NFT, you don't have to do anything else. You can just let it ride. You can let it ride and you can collect the 180-day bonus, or you can let it ride and collect, get the 10x bonus from 33 days, filling up your fuel cell. So those are 2 ways to get more darker matter than the other people, is to make a bigger commitment. And yeah, enjoy this. 13 days to do it. We'll see what the whales do. There's still a couple of big addresses. Let's take a look here at the addresses. Yeah, so here's Pink Miss Well sitting on 95,000. These are smart contracts. Someone sitting on 47,000, 19,000, 17, 16, 15, 11,000, 11,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 8,000, 6,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 46, 46, 45. I mean, like 42, 40. There's a lot of people that put their money where their mouth is. I would guarantee that almost all of these people with thousands of darker matter did not have thousands of dark matter to begin with. I bet you most of these people minted fuel cells in the beginning of the dark matter game. And I believe a lot of this is credit for the fuel cell, the NFT, and for what was inside of it. And back then we didn't have the 10x bonus and the 100x bonus. I mean, you were just competing to see who could outlast and not eat their marshmallow the soonest. It was all delayed gratification in the first one. This one has delayed gratification and mental illness. You've got to be insane to take 333 darker matter tokens, which is going to be the most scarce token in the universe, and throw it into the void. Just give it away. You're just giving it away to the future jackpot players. But, if you have faith, every 11 days you might be blessed with some gold. Anyways, it's a lot to go into. I can't wait to share more of this with you guys. And yeah, we're gonna end with Cape Feor's The Void. Thanks, Max. Bye, all. Thanks, believe in yourself. Yeah, Cape Feor's The Void here, and I'll catch you on the next stream. Ciao.
Pops up, the neon starts to glow. Lowercase connection, entering the show. Top right corner where the wallet interacts. Digital contract, tracking down the facts. The ticker symbols blinking on the sidebar screen. The dark is the atmosphere setting the scene. Round one is coming, the season's on the clock. Secure the network, time to lock it in the block. Welcome to the darker matter. Standard rules apply. Load the fuel cells up before the timer passes by. Into the void we will go, where the smart ones play. Minting out the future, trading through the shadows. Watch the ticker climb. Feel the data stream. Living on the edge of the cyber grid machine.
Sacrifices, waiting at the gate, calculating yields while we wait upon the day. Claim the EDOT payouts, tally up the wins. This is where the high stakes strategy begins. They say it's for the smart ones, written on the wall. A gamified ecosystem standing tall. Read the how to play if you wanna know the way. Before you launch the app or end in disarray. Ticks on the countdown, now it's turned to days. The price of darker matter, moving through the haze. Is it an illusion? Is it by design? Watch the smart contract as it aligns. 3, 2, 1. Let the protocol run. Welcome to the darker matter. Standard rules apply. Load the fuel cells up before the timer passes by. Into the void, here we go, where the smart ones play. Minting out the future, trade into the shadows. Watch the ticker climb. Feel the data stream. Living on the edge of the cyber grid machine.